Chicago is the gem of Illinois, the most populous city in the Midwest. Over 2 million people call this home. This is a melting pot of cultures and businesses because many people from around the world move here. Its diverse neighborhoods host a wide variety of communities from Mexican to Italian, African to Asians, and Polish. The Windy City has long been an urban center. It has cemented its place in history. For starters, French explorers, missionaries, and fur traders arrived in the 17th century, followed by the U.S. Army fort. By 1837, businesses started booming as northern businessmen saw the real estate potential in Chicago's emerging transportation hub. It also offers many things to people who want to move here. Check out our video on top employers in Chicago here. However, not everything glitters in Chicago. Hi there, this is Gabby with Nex-Gen Real Estate. I am a real estate agent and a property manager in Chicagoland. If you love knowing about real estate and Chicago, subscribe and click the bell icon so you won't miss our latest videos. Today, I will discuss the reasons why you should not move to Chicago. Now, this may be super counterintuitive because I am a real estate agent and I should want you to move to this area, but I gotta be real with you. And it is my fiduciary duty to guide you to make the right call. So here are the different disadvantages of living in Chicago. Number 1, congestion. Here's the first I gotta warn you about. Chicago's traffic. The city is overpopulated with all the business centers and urban dwellers. And as much as it is a hub for economic growth, the Windy City suffers from severe traffic congestion and inadequate parking. This makes Chicago a poor place for car users. Chicagoans waste a lot of time, 26% more than average on travel time due to long lines of traffic. In particular, traffic peaks from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and dips slightly in the early afternoon. And that is a lot of wasted hours that you could use for self-care, side hustles, or fun activities. Another key factor to traffic are the toll roads. These roads are pretty much inescapable when coming in and out of town and can cost you significantly more if you do not own an I-Pass. Parking is another issue. The slots fill up fast and you'd need to pay a lot for parking near your destinations. Sign up for discount parking services to save up on fees and reserve your spot. I am talking about apps such as ParkChirp or Spot Hero. But you shouldn't worry about traveling within Chicago. It is a very walkable city with a walk score of 77. Not into walking, the grid-like map will make it easy to travel by trains and buses that transfer on most intersections. Number 2, high property taxes. Another big disadvantage to moving to Chicago is the high taxes, especially property taxes. The high tax rate contributes to the cost of living. Homeowners spend at least 1.55% on their property taxes because Illinois has the second highest property tax in the United States. Chicagoans also pay a wide variety of taxes. For starters, the starting sale tax rate is 10.25%, combined with state, county, and city sale taxes. There are more than 25 specialty taxes and fees, including taxes on parking, gas, liquor, soda, and streaming videos. Next, high crime rates. If there's anything that defines Chicago the most, it's the high crime rates. Chicago has a wide checkered political history, and it suffers from corruption and unsolved justices. Chicago is infamous as home of the icons of Midwest crime such as John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, and Al Capone. There are even memorials to these criminal characters around the city. And violent crime is so high that the Windy City has struggled with the title of U.S. murder capital. But the crime rate is trending downwards. While shootings and violent crimes have spiked in the first 3 months of 2021, shooting rates have decreased by 30% over the past 3 years. This comes from growing police reform and community policing. The majority of the gang and gun violence occurs in a few neighborhoods, so always do your due diligence. Pro tip: if you want to move to Chicago, research neighborhoods thoroughly. Go beyond home prices. Ask past and current residents about the environment they live in. Gauge how safe it would be to live there during the day as well as the night. Next, public schools. The Chicago public school system, while being one of the largest employers in the city, leaves a lot to be desired. Many Chicago residents attest to that they discussed their experience in City Data Forum. Most neighborhoods' public schools suffer from poor quality. They are understaffed and lacking in interest-based classes. These educational issues mainly originate from poor working conditions and low teaching wages. So teachers choose to leave their profession, often going to strikes for better pay and benefits. The better schools in the public system are not accessible for everyone. Those schools run on selective enrollment. They select students based on test scores and family income level. Pro tip: if you choose to move to Chicagoland, search for towns with schools that offer higher education merits for all ages. To help you with this search, here's a video on top 10 communities in Illinois. Now, you've come this far. If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you click on the like button. Doing this will help us tell YouTube algorithm that this content is valuable for viewers like you. And the very last disadvantage of living in Chicago is cost of living. If you want to move to Chicago, you need to prepare a fortune. To live in the Windy City won't be easy. For more in-depth take on cost of living in Chicago, we uploaded a video on cost of living in Chicago metropolitan area. In the research, we have found that Chicago is more expensive than 84% of cities worldwide. The lifestyle here is very demanding on one's finances, from high rent and home prices to expensive dining to huge parking fees. And like I've mentioned before, the high tax rates here lead to high cost of living. For instance, housing expenses here are 56% higher than the national average, according to the latest pay scale statistics. To live well in an apartment, a breadwinner should earn at least $18.71 per hour or $37,410 per year. To live above poverty threshold in Chicago, you need to earn a full-time of at least $16.32. According to Retirepedia, Chicago has a poverty rate of 20%. So if you want to enjoy all of Chicago's unique charms, economic opportunities, and amenities, you must have a stable, well-paying job and learn to budget for your lifestyle. All things considered, Chicago is one of the most beautiful cities to live in. It offers a high standard of living, but you need to plan and adjust your lifestyle to mitigate the cons of this place. Thanks for watching until the very end. Do you live in the Chicago area? What do you think about the things that we have discussed? Share your particular experiences with these things in the comments below. Interested in real estate? Set a free consultation call with me in the link below. Thanks for watching, and as always, where's your future?